Cape Verde or Cabo Verde west of Cape Verde, situated at the westernmost point of continental Africa. The Cape Verde Islands form part of the Macaronesia ecoregion. Along with the Azores, the Canary Islands, Madeira, and the Savage Isles, the Cape Verde archipelago was uninhabited until the 15th century, when Portuguese explorers discovered and colonized the islands, thus establishing the first European settlement in the tropics. Because the Cape Verde Islands were ideally located to play a role in the Atlantic slave trade, Cape Verde became economically prosperous during the 16th and 17th centuries, attracting merchants, privateers, and pirates. It declined economically in the 19th century due to the suppression of the Atlantic slave trade, and many of its inhabitants emigrated during that period. However, Cape Verde gradually recovered economically by becoming an important commercial center and useful stopover point along major shipping routes. In 1951, Cape Verde was incorporated as an overseas department of Portugal, but its inhabitants continued to campaign for independence, which they achieved in 1975. Since the early 1990s, Cape Verde has been a stable representative democracy, and has remained one of the most developed and democratic countries in Africa. Lacking natural resources, its developing economy is mostly service-oriented, with a growing focus on tourism and foreign investment. Its population of around 550,000 is mostly of mixed African and European heritage, and predominantly Roman Catholic, reflecting the legacy of Portuguese rule. A sizable Cape Verdean diaspora community exists across the world, considerably outnumbering inhabitants on the islands. Cape Verde is a member state of the African Union. The country is named after the Cape Verde Peninsula. On the Senegalese coast, the name Cape Verde, in turn, comes from the Portuguese Cabo Verde, the name that Portuguese explorers gave the Cape in 1444. A few years before they discovered the islands. On the 24th of October 2013, the country's delegation to the United Nations informed it that other countries should no longer use Cape Verde, or any other translations of Cabo Verde, as part of its official name. All countries should use Republic of Cabo Verde as the country's official name. English speakers have used the name Cape Verde for the archipelago and since independence in 1975 for the country. In 2013, the Cape Verdean government determined that it would thenceforth use the Portuguese name Cabo Verde for official purposes, including at the United Nations, even when speaking or writing in English. Before the arrival of Europeans, the Cape Verde Islands were uninhabited. They were discovered by Genoese and Portuguese navigators around 1456. According to Portuguese official records, the first discoveries were made by Genoa-born Antonio de Noli, who was afterwards appointed governor of Cape Verde by the Portuguese King Afonso V. Other navigators mentioned as contributing to discoveries on the Cape Verde archipelago are Diogo Dias, Diogo Afonso, Venetian-born Alves Cadamosto, and Diogo Gomes. In 1462, Portuguese settlers arrived at Santiago and founded a settlement they called Ribeira Grande. Today it is called Cidade Velha, to distinguish it from a town of the same name on a different Cape Verdean island. The original Ribeira Grande was the first permanent European settlement in the tropics. In the 16th century, the archipelago prospered from the Atlantic slave trade. Pirates occasionally attacked the Portuguese settlements. Francis Drake, an English privateer, twice sacked the capital Ribeira Grande in 1585 when it was a part of the Iberian Union. After a French attack in 1712, the town declined in importance relative to nearby Praia, which became the capital in 1770. Decline in the slave trade in the 19th century resulted in an economic crisis. Cape Verde's early prosperity slowly vanished. However, the island's position astride mid-Atlantic shipping lanes made Cape Verde an ideal location for resupplying ships. Because of its excellent harbor, the city of Mindelo, located on the island of São Vicente, became an important commercial center during the 19th century. Diplomat Edmund Roberts visited Cape Verde in 1832. Cape Verde was the first stop of Charles Darwin's voyage with HMS Beagle in 1832. With few natural resources and inadequate sustainable investment from the Portuguese, the citizens grew increasingly discontented with the colonial masters, who nevertheless refused to provide the local authorities with more autonomy. In 1951, Portugal changed Cape Verde's status from a colony to an overseas province in an attempt to blunt growing nationalism. In 1956, Amilcar Cabral and a group of fellow Cape Verdeans and Guineans organized the clandestine African Party for the Independence of Guinea and Cape Verde. It demanded improvement in economic, social and political conditions in Cape Verde and Portuguese Guinea and formed the Basi